Ready?
The technology, all they have to do is press a button.
Turn it down, you turn it on, and then you press this button.
You know, I've got a picture on my Marcy's cell phone that I've been trying for weeks.
You look like you didn't want to hear it from me.
No, I thought you had it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you should have.
I don't know where it is.
So.
Under apps.
No?
Don't you just snap on a picture and hit the little icon that
My guess.
and then the email pops
Okay. I'll check when I do.
All right, we have a forum. We'll call the second meeting of April to order for the Town of Liberty Grove Town Board. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. A reminder to turn your cell phones off or on vibration, and a reminder to the board to speak into the microphones. Would you please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be darned.
Thank you. And I'd like to welcome our new board member, Bob Tidwell.
Thank you.
All right, we need to approve the agenda.
Move. Second.
It's a tie for second. All in favor indicates by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, motion is carried. We have the minutes of the first meeting of April, on April 4th. Any additions or corrections to those? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor indicates by saying aye. Aye.
Abstain.
Gary, did you vote?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Motion passed. Okay. All right, approve payment of bills. Are there any questions? If you go down to number 13 for Schenck, Janet, I asked Janet before, the utility district has already issued us a check for their portion. I'll make a motion then to approve the bills as presented. I believe Nancy seconded that. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. Thank you. Treasurer's report. Janet?
In the municipal checking account, we began with a balance of $1,743,447.04. We transferred to checking and got some interest, bringing that balance to $1,294,235.11. In the money market account, we began with $637,129.60. After interest, the balance is $637,497.91. In the checking account, we began with $89,089.24. Deposits and transferred, less FICA, less state withholding, payroll and disbursements, brought that balance to $298,579.07. The utility district fund had $573,286.34. With a balance in all town accounts at the end of March of $2,803,598.43.
Are there any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Administrators report, Bud.
Point of order. I don't see it on the agenda.
Oh, sorry about that.
I will report that the county board, I think I mentioned it last night, passed the resolution to he's working on the deed and he'll be sending us a copy of the motion that was passed.
Going on to the number 7, public input. This is the opportunity to address the board on any subject you'd like and on any agenda subject. Any general comments anybody would like to make? And anybody want to comment on the agendized items? All right, we'll go on. Consider recommendations from Parks and Property, expand parking area. What's this, Mark? Park, please.
Right, with the staircase going in, what we're looking at right now, and we've talked to Jay, he was part of the meeting. We're gonna take and put down the gravel that we budgeted for last year. But then we'll take a look at traffic and see whether or not we want to expand that parking area and maybe add more gravel. Right now, we're gonna leave it the way it is. And then, add some benches and some tables and stuff like that. But right now, it depends a lot on usage. We're not sure exactly how much usage the park's gonna get, so. But we're gonna try and, Jay says there are a couple trees that have to come down to facilitate better parking. And he's already got that in the works, so
Okay.
as soon as the weather changes.
How do you go about looking at the usage?
Well, probably, there'll be people going out there on a weekly basis. And we'll take a look and see whether or not, the commercial vendors are taking their kayaks out there. If not, if they are, then that means we've gotta add some parking for trailers and vehicles.
Yeah.
And also, depending on, just observation of how many people are using the picnic tables, how many people are using the benches. We're not sure, we're assuming that there's gonna be an influx of people because of the ability to actually walk down to the beach. Whether or not that actually happens remains to be seen. But before spending a lot of money improving the parking lot, we'll wait and see. We're gonna enlarge it, and we've already budgeted last year gravel to put down. And so that'll take care of that.
Gary, there's also, the part-time summer help.
Yeah.
They'll be going there 3 times a week to empty out the doggy bags. So there will be somebody that's going there quite often.
Do you need a motion to expand the parking lot?
Yes.
Okay, then I
Well,
move.
a motion to approve the committee's recommendation.
Okay, I move that we go through the process of studying the expansion of the parking lot in Fort Demorge Park based on usage.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Stone bench?
Okay, Steve Shumway is in the process of making a stone bench for, I can't think of, what's the last name of the people?
I'm sorry, it's a name that I have to be looking at. It's like ULD Aldenhausen or
Yeah,
something.
it's in memory of their daughter, Katie, who used to go down there and sit and look out over the bay. And she passed away recently. We are recommending that the bench be placed in the park, but we are recommending that it be put in the northwest corner, which would be over in the corner next to Cedar Grove. And that way it's sort of out of the way. It doesn't create a mowing hazard or problem, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll make a motion that we proceed with the placement of the bench.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Number 9, consider appointment of election workers Yvonne Blanche and Grace Johnson.
These would be, we have a lot of elections this year, and I already know that there are people who won't be able to come in for some of them. These would be kind of standby election workers to fill in where the regular election workers can't come in. Grace Johnson, yes, she's my daughter. She has already done an election. She knows what needs to be done. And Yvonne is trainable. And both have said, yes, it's okay.
Any questions?
And there's, I'd like to put a primary on May 15th.
Oh,
That makes it 5 days a week.
okay, I'll make a motion to approve the election workers Yvonne Blanche and Grace Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Thank you. I'll make a motion to remove from the table the consideration of acceptance of the Clinky Garage property from the county.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. As Bud explained earlier, the county is going to turn that property over to us. And you want to do any details on that?
Just that the quitclaim deed is in process by Grant. He's sending up the resolution, as I said, and we're paying the back taxes on it of $900 and some. For that, the county sprung for the Phase 1 environmental, and the one done on this parcel and another one in Sturgeon Bay. They also forgave the interest on the back taxes of $300 and some, I believe it was. So without that, it would have been over $1,200 in interest, taxes and interest, not just the 3 years of taxes. But there's going to be a bill generated for the current year because it was there on the 1st of January of this year. So there'll be another one coming of about $150 next December.
And the current one is going to be?
The back taxes
Yeah.
are $926 or in that vicinity.
Okay.
And once that gets done, then we'll have it and decide where to go from there.
Gary?
Now, is my understanding that the town will have no liability with regard to what's on that property as far as hazardous waste or anything like that? As long as we don't touch it.
As long as we don't touch it.
And if anything is to be done there, we are to consult very closely with the DNR and make sure that they're okay with whatever might go on.
And what is going to happen to the material that is inside the garage? There's a lot of valuable stuff in there, old snowmobiles, mopeds, collector's items, Model T parts,
We'll take an inventory and go from there.
so, okay.
Gary, at one point in time, you had mentioned that there was a storage container with hydrochloric acid in it. Has that been removed?
No.
That worries me.
I was in there, I didn't see that.
It's in the back lean-to. You go through the back door,
Yeah, back
right
there.
around the corner is a battery charging station,
Oh,
and there's a big bottle, 50-gallon bottle, drum or something like that, glass bottle.
take another look.
That worries me, because as soon as we take possession, we're on the hook if anything happens to that, either by vandalism or by trying to remove it, and dropping it or something. I would like to see that gone.
I think, okay, I'll facilitate that. I'll talk to Grant.
Before we sign anything, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody wish to make a motion to that effect? pending the removal of the,
I will make the motion to, that the town accept the property, the Clanky Garage property from the county on the condition that prior to any paperwork being signed, hazardous materials being stored there, specifically hydrochloric acid in a glass container, are removed.
I'll second it.
any further,
Who did? Gary?
yes, Gary did, I'm sorry. Any further discussion? Just so everybody realizes, the building itself will not be open, will not be, accessible to the public.
For FYI, the building was painted 10 years ago, so all of the lead paint that was on the building is gone.
Oh, good, okay.
And the Historical Society restored the building, or didn't restore it, but stabilized it. And then at the same time, it was painted. So, but it's ready for another paint job.
Okay. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. All right, consider future status of Cepalonis property. Mr. Comstock?
There's another parcel involved here, the parking lot in the corner, across from Viking. When Scott and the anonymous group entered into discussion, it was his idea that he would like to get the fair market value, and then he would throw it in the garage. Of course, that he died before this all took place. And when I talked to him, and going through the process, he did reiterate that the fair market value was what he wanted to get out of it. And we talked to his sister and were able to make that deal. And so that's in the works now. Hellstrom Ray has the offer to purchase, and that'll have to be signed by Gwen Mickelson, Scott's sister. And we arranged for a survey. Once the survey is done, then the title insurance will be issued on it. I did look it up, and I told Amy Olson, who's handling it there, I said, well, there is a survey on file from 1962. She said, well, that's a little old. So apparently they surveyed all three of those parcels at once, the corner parcel, the Dean Johnson property, and where Meads live right now. So those are all appear on that one survey. So once that gets done, then we put it on a future agenda to accept that. Then the donation will go to the town, and then the town will purchase it with that donated money. And that was authorized last night at the annual meeting.
And we're gonna have to have, probably sooner than later, a discussion as to what we really wanna do with that property. There's been some communication from the group with no name, as Bud refers to them. They have some ideas as what they'd like to possibly see done to it.
I got an email today suggesting that the parking lot be converted into a green space.
That was from the Committee of No Name. Sorry. Yeah, I think we seriously have to look at that possibility. We already know that put a building on that property is almost impossible because of the setbacks.
Can you put a head, bathrooms?
Probably wouldn't fit.
There would be a possibility of putting a building on the property, even if it didn't meet setbacks. The Door County zoning ordinance allows for variance to be granted if the use being requested has an overriding public good attached to it. They can null and void the three criteria that need to be met. And we have used that at least once with a project that was just so, made so much sense and was so good for the environment that we recommended the county waive the 3 criteria, and they did. And it's part of the Door County zoning ordinance, so, you know, I wouldn't throw it out totally that a building couldn't be put on there.
Okay. Eric?
I also got an email from the group with no name that they would like some place in Ellison Bay, preferably right in the center of town, where people could fill their water bottles from potable drinking water. So I don't know, there is currently no water on that site, so it would have to be brought in from somewhere.
Okay, well, we've got a lot to chew on.
And, excuse me,
Yeah, go ahead.
and Gus Klinke's garage, are we discussing that also? As to what?
Yeah, we could, sure, why not?
Where, currently, is there any idea of where that's gonna go, or suggestions as to what to do with it?
I haven't heard of any at this point.
Okay. We haven't had any offers from any organization?
No.
Okay.
Okay, going on to number 12, and let's put that on, that discussion on this, Central Owens property, that parking area for the first meeting in May.
Okay.
I've got a drawing somewhere, I don't recall if it's in the folder, of, I had either Rick Brown or Dave Solomon draw the building envelope on that piece,
Okay.
and there is a square in the middle that meets setbacks from all 4 sides, and I'll try to find out
Okay.
where that is.
Okay, then going on to number 12, discussion on townwide garbage pickup. Nancy?
Yeah, I'd like to speak to this, since the last time we discussed this several years ago, I was opposed to it. And the main reason I was opposed to it is because my husband and I had a service through what was then, I believe, Superior, and it's now Advanced Disposal, and it was far less than what was being proposed townwide. And I'm sure we aren't the only people that were in that situation. However, since then, and I'm not sure how many years ago that was, I went back in our personal records to the beginning of 2016 and to the present, and our much better deal garbage pickup is no longer so. The environmental column on the invoices has gone up 16.67%, as has the equipment rental, and the fuel surcharge has also gone up, and for a total of 37.5% since we last looked at this. It is no longer a good deal, and I'd like to think, I'm pretty doggone sure, that we have the best deal going, because I researched the heck out of this before we signed a contract for garbage, and it's no longer a sweet deal. This would be a savings.
Janet, you've got the information ongoing. You want to share it, please?
They did a cost analysis for us last year, because I brought it up to the Finance Committee again. Finance Committee didn't want to talk about it. This would be for once a week pickup, garbage only, and there wouldn't be a choice like we tried before where you could opt out if you wanted to. This is it. You're gonna get garbage service, and your choice would be, do you want a can at your house that you bring out every week, or do you want garbage bags that Going provides and you can drop them off at your convenience? The cost per household for that service, I believe, was $140 a year. That goes on the tax bill as a special charge. It does not get incorporated into our mill rate. So, you know, and what we would have to do is figure out exactly, do we want to do this or not? Have going, do another cost analysis for us so that we would know what amount of money we're talking about. But I myself have every other week service, and I pay about $90 a quarter. This would cost me $140 a year, and I get weekly pickups, not every other week. And you know, we're constantly hearing about businesses that have to put monitors on their dumpsters or locks because people are just driving in and using their dumpsters for their own garbage service. And we find garbage in our parks, you know. I just, you're either getting rid of your garbage correctly or you're not, and it should be done correctly. We would have to talk about what we're going to do for businesses and for recycling. That would be, you know, we need to figure that part of it out. Sister Bay offers their business I believe it's a 1 yard pickup per week that they pay, that's covered with the tax thing. And then anything above that, the business has to pay for. But then they also get their recycling picked up as well. So I think, you know, finance should, well, actually, finance doesn't have to look at this. The board can make this.
Board can make
decision.
I did check with, at least one summer resident that's here from the end of May till the end of September to find out what his family, they live on Bay Lane, paid for garbage. And for the time that they're here, the end of May through the end of September, they pay 140, was it 140 or 160? He thought it'd be a great idea. And, you know, he's only here half the year.
I would think we'd want to add recycling to it.
And then do away with the drive-in recycling.
Well, they could drive in and recycle, but they'd have to be going, we wouldn't be covering that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they do pick up your recycling, you go to single stream. There's no more separation. So
Cardboard,
your
paper, bottles.
everything goes in one can.
So would the town still get billed for recycling that goes over?
No.
No, we would discontinue that. But now that's gonna make that cost be higher. It wouldn't be 140 anymore. It would, I don't know what that number would be. We would never ask them to include recycling. We've only ever asked them to do garbage.
What does the, or I don't expect you to have a figure off the top of your head, but it would be probably worthwhile to look into what the total bill the town pays for townwide recycling and divide that out.
Our bills add up usually annually about 24, between 24 and 25,000 a year to recycle. We get some of that money back in grant money. We get about 6,000 back. I guess I would have to talk to Going and find out, but I would be very skeptical that we could do it for less.
Right, I was gonna say that dividing that per household, that's gonna be a much better deal than having recycling at the curbside, if you will. So,
The bill for this month on the bills was $1,700 for recycling. So
yeah.
this is kind of a lower time of the year, and the summertime, of course, it picks up. But
Right.
I think about by November, it starts to go the other way again.
Yeah. But depending on how much it would add to garbage pickup, to have garbage and recycling pickup, just the recycling part, I'd be willing to bet it's gonna be a lot more than 20,000.
Gary?
Are we thinking of prorating the amount for summer residents based on their time here?
Nope.
Same charge to everybody, whether they're here 6 months or 12 months?
Right.
You know, sometimes,
So we need more information from going.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we really can't make a decision until we get there.
No, but you need, what is it that we're asking them to do a cost for us? They have to know what you're gonna want in order for them to come up with a cost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would say,
I think you had to separate it out, you ask them, you know, strictly garbage, and then add, and then.
garbage,
add on the,
recycling,
Recycling,
yeah.
so we know.
Yeah.
So ask them to do
So
it.
now I drive over there and I buy cans and
Yeah.
bottles and throw them in, you know,
Big dumpster,
dumpster.
yeah.
Yeah.
And doesn't cost me anything to do that.
Oh, it's on your taxes.
Huh?
And Liberty Grove pays for it, it's on your taxes.
So is that going to affect,
Well, that's what we were just discussing to get a price from going for garbage alone, townwide,
yeah,
and garbage and recycling, and then compare the recycling to what the town has to pay for the big dumpster.
yeah, okay.
And probably it'll be a lot more for the recycling part. My guess is we're better off, you know, keeping the recycling service at the town level, but looking at townwide garbage pickup.
Yeah, okay. Who talks to me?
Hmm?
Who talks to me?
Chan?
Jan will take care of it. I've got a little bit different take on this. Back to our consideration of addressing what's undoubtedly going to happen with the growth and people moving up into, you know, Liberty Grove. A lot of those people come from urban areas where garbage recycling is expected to happen. So it tends to, at least in my opinion, at this point in time, it tends to look like a pretty good carrot to be offering services like, you know, like that to potential people to move into the community. It also is very possible to be a cost-effective way for, you know, our citizens to have their garbage and hopefully recycling done. So if you can get that information.
Okay.
Anything else anybody has?
If we look at it from that point of view, then the city dweller, the next thing they're gonna want is trash pickup.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
No, I'm talking about bed springs and mattresses and they, you know, all this garbage, they throw it on the curb and they pick it up once a year.
Well, they can call going and
They can call
they'll
Going
come
for
out and
that.
get it for a fee.
Yeah, but the city does it for nothing.
Or you just put a big
No.
free sign on it, let it sit there till it rains.
It's on your tax bill.
Yeah, no,
The only thing that's not on the tax, that they don't pick up, because people come and get it, is all the aluminum that's laying around, like patio doors and stuff like that. People drive through and strip all the aluminum off of everything.
All right, anything else? All right, then let's go on to committee appointments.
You need to table this?
No, she's gonna come back. Committee appointments, I'm suggesting that we replace Fred Anderson on the Sister Bay Liberty Grove Utility Committee, I guess we'll call it.
It's-
Bob is on that right now, and he was on that. Fred has had difficulty making those meetings, and I've asked Tom Goss if he would serve, and he has said he would, so. Tom Goss.
Santa Claus.
okay,
On which committee?
Well,
are you talking
Sister Bay
about,
Liberty Grove Utility Committee.
No, that's the one, didn't you show me that it has to be a board member?
No, that's fire
Bob
board.
Tidwell is the board member.
Fire.
I wasn't a board member for that,
Okay. Wrong committee.
Okay. We'll need the board has to make a motion to approve that.
well, we need two more,
No,
no?
you're on there, and he was on
Anderson was on there too.
That's what we're replacing.
Tom's replacing Anderson.
Okay, so is Hughes still on?
Yep. Unless somebody is removed, they keep it rolling.
I'm gonna recuse myself from
Okay.
this.
You want a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, I move that we accept the appointment of Tom Goss to the Utilities Committee.
Okay,
In a second.
Second.
second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and then motion carries. Okay. Nancy recused herself. And then on the fire board, in reading through the audit report from Schenck, I came across something that I was not aware is there's a provision that in both municipalities on the fire board, it must be an elected official who serves. And Hugh has been on the fire board, and he's not an elected official anymore, so he needs to be replaced. And I have asked Gary Farber if he'd take that spot, and he has consented to it. So. And that'll need a motion as well. And that would place Lou and Nancy, and then Gary on the fire board.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of Gary Farber to the fire board.
Second.
Second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
I recuse myself.
Okay. Opposed, and that motion carries.
Congratulations.
Yeah. All right, operator licenses?
Yeah, we have one. Here we go. It's almost summer. Here we go. We have one for Sally Barkey. It's a renewal. She did not renew in 17 in the regular cycle. For what reason, I don't know. So but she needs to have this before July 1st.
So she'll take the class.
She doesn't have to take the class, but she had one in 16, which you can be 2 years behind and it's okay.
I move that we accept we approve the operator license for
Second.
said named
For Sally.
individual.
For Sally, or okay. I'll second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. And now what we've been waiting for with bated breath. No, she's just kind of relaxing out there.
I have a back issue, so
Yeah.
sciatic, so that's why I have to stand sometimes when I'm here, after sitting, well, other meetings throughout the day. Thank you.
Correspondence?
Thursday, May 3rd, the Chambers Room at Door County Government Center. There will be a hearing by the Resource Planning Committee on amending various sections of the Door County zoning ordinance. A number of them regarding roadside stands, farm markets, retail/tasting areas, and non-commercial districts, for wineries, breweries, and fruit and vegetable cheese processing plants. An amendment regarding the treatment of site condominium units. Amendment to clarify setbacks for secondary dwelling units. Amend allowed uses of residential lots in conservation subdivisions. And amendments regarding non-conforming uses, structures, and lots. And a complete copy of all these things are at the Land Use Services Department during the week. Door County Tourism Zone meets, Executive Committee meets tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the City of Sturgeon Bay Community Room, the Towns Association newsletter, the Sister Bay Liberty Grove Management Communications and Audit Report. Gibraltar Schools announced that Mark Weaver, Linnea Hickey, and Angela Sherman have been elected to terms on the county board. And a letter from the Land Use Planning Department that the Grassy Winery has been approved with 2014, and this has been submitted to the Public Service Commission on Wisconsin. That's it.
Okay, future meetings?
As I mentioned, tourism zone meets tomorrow 9 a.m. in the city of Sturgeon Bay. Plan is to send out the grease trap letters tomorrow to prospective grease trap owners. We don't know that, so we're sending out information or a questionnaire. Monday the 23rd, the scheduling conference on the lawsuit with the village at 8:15 a.m. Plan commission on the 25th, 7 o'clock.
There's
Is,
also,
yeah,
there's
learning.
also a special board meeting. You have in the ad for the paving to open those bids up on the 25th at 8 o'clock.
It's 25th,
That's what it's, I read the ad, that's what it said.
okay.
So the board should be here so that everything can get done all at one time. 8 o'clock, the 25th.
It's in here as 26th.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
because
changed.
I didn't.
25th or 26th?
25th.
6th.
6th?
No,
25th.
25th.
25.
Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
25, 8 o'clock.
Monday the 30th, the schedule says pulverizing of roads to be paved, so we'll see how that turns out with this crazy snow. Wednesday, May 2nd, town board at 7 o'clock. RPC on the 3rd at 2:15, amending various ordinances. NWTC has a ribbon cutting ceremony on Monday the 7th at 11 a.m. at their facility on top of the hill. Parks and Property on May 8th at 9 a.m. Plan Commission on the 9th at 7. Utility District meeting at 4:30 that day. And May 15th, it looks real good that there'll be a primary, as I mentioned earlier. On the 16th, town board at 7, and then the board review will meet and then adjourn at 6:45. That pretty much takes us through May. Plan commission is scheduled on the 23rd, all closed on the 28th. And women's club rentals begin on Wednesday, May 30th. That's it.
Okay. Before I move, have we adjourned? Fire board was when? I don't think it,
I didn't mention it.
he didn't mention it.
Oh,
Must not be on schedule.
I don't have it on the calendar here.
We haven't found out yet.
Good point, you.
Good safe. All right, a quote from Josh Billings. Consider the postage stamp. It secures success through its ability to stick to one thing till it gets there. I move we adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Fire board normally meets